We are in the year 2020. With technology at its peak, it is tough to get kids to play outside the house. Physical activity is more important today than ever. As years are passing by, childhood obesity is becoming a serious issue. We cannot help but think about their well-being after about 50 years. Involvement in sports and other physical activities is an expensive affair. Times were good when kids did not have any other option but to run out and breathe the fresh air. Today, all they can smell is smoke from the vehicles. There are only a few who love to go old school and play outdoors. The intense games on the basketball or football court give them a different rush. If you think about reality, your child wakes up in the day and directly sits down to eat breakfast. After breakfast, children are seated in a car or school bus to get to the school directly. Children then waste most of the day sitting still in a learning position. This sedentary pattern remains until they go to sleep at night. Nevertheless, even if some people have the facility to have an active lifestyle, they choose not to. On the other hand, some people are passionate about sports and similar activities but might not have the facilities to peruse them. In countries like India, China, there are millions of children who dream of pursuing their careers in sports only to be turned down by their families to get a real job. Families who are not well-to-do cannot afford to even think about taking their chances. You may think that if a person wants to peruse sports, they can do it whether they are rich or poor. In reality, sports, especially equipment-based, lifestyle sports, can undergo an accelerated increase in popularity. More popularity leads to products priced high. A decent sport shoe alone can cost the food supplies of days for some people. If you think about buying any other equipment like guards, it may cost the family a fortune. Joining a sports club may remain an unfulfilled dream, but on the other hand, people like Karan Butler teach the world about willpower. From rags to riches, Karen went from being a drug dealer to an NBA superstar. In this story, we will look into the ultimate meaning of sheer willpower and strength. If you want to achieve something in life, nothing else will stop you from reaching it except for yourself. This girl showed the entire world what she is worth with her strong determination. A young 11-year-old girl from the Philippines had her heart set on sports. She did not have much money or equipment to make this a reality. But this did not stop her from going ahead with her passion anyway. Ray's family lived below the poverty line, and they could not afford to buy a plastic cover. They had one bag made of cloth, and they would use it effectively. Ria was passionate about sports from when she was about 5 years old. Her energy during the day proved more and more about her desire to keep moving forward. Ria took time out every day and trained to be a good athlete. She would not care for shoes or any equipment. While her friends of the same age group went to sports clubs to practice, Ria would run along the beach and train herself. Some of them even made fun of the fact that she did not own clothes to practice in. Many went as far as calling her a beggar. But Ria paid no attention to these statements. If they were her real friends, they would understand her and help her. Ria would look around her house and use some objects to help her train. With nothing stopping her from reaching her goal, Ria was not ashamed of her background. After a few years, she would continue with her practice religiously. She heard about a local school that was recruiting children to join their sports club. Ria could not stop herself from reaching out to this school. It was her dream to get some formal training from an older and experienced person. But as expected, her parents would deny her from joining the track club. They could not afford to send her to this track club. As much as her parents wanted to help her live her dream, it was out of their capacity to fulfill this request. But one event changed her entire life. An international school competition was held in the same town that Ria lived in. The province of Iloilo has the opportunity to step in and compete with others. If this competition was held in some other city, she could not have traveled and competed for the same. With high hopes and dreams, she practiced day and night after enrolling herself for the competition. The day finally arrived, and she was more than ready to bring her A game. But there was one problem: the competition required her to wear a pair of sneakers. Without the sneakers, she was not allowed to take part in this. But this did not stop her from going ahead. She came up with an innovative idea to get over this problem. The moment she walked in, everyone looked at her and gasped. They could not believe how far she would go to make this dream come true. She had wrapped her feet in medical tape. Ria had to cover her feet with some material, so what better than something that is flexible and does not tear? She even drew the Nike symbol on this tape as it was her dream to get a pair someday. She carefully wrapped this around her toes, feet, and heel. She did not look sad about making a DIY shoe for herself. The smile on her face showed how happy she was to take part in the competition. But this was not the surprising part. Rhea took part in the race that day with optimum enthusiasm. With her participation in the 400 meters, 800 meters, and 1,500 meters race, she killed her performance in each of the categories. People looked at her in awe as Rhea ran in the shoe made out of medical tape. She did fine with the run in the 400 meters, but she excelled in the 800 meters run. What is more surprising is that she won the gold medal in the 1500 meters run. By the time the day ended, she had grabbed onto 3 gold medals. The look on her face was similar to that of a lion. The media was also present in the location, and they did not expect the girl with the medical tape shoe to grab 3 gold medals. Her friends, who once made fun of her, were now standing in the corner, pouting about their failure. It does not take fancy shoes or equipment to win, but sheer willpower to achieve something. The coach who was responsible for training the young lady was more than shocked to see her achievement. He wanted to show the whole world how lucky he was to witness this great event. It did not take much time for this story to become viral. Everyone around the world showed their admiration for the willpower of this young girl. Many similar stories of people who are now famous started cropping up. The love she received worldwide was immense. The world now recognized her as Rhea Boyos, the girl with strong determination. The name was roaring around in the sports community. All other kids of her age started to take notice of this achievement. The news spread wide to different countries, and the media began covering the news in their primetime slots. This attention was when her life took a turn for the better. People of all ages, old and young, started taking notice of this girl and followed her path. The young champion defeated others in this competition with ease. What is surprising is that many of these people were wearing good, branded athletic sneakers. People around the world cheered for her and built her confidence to a higher level. Some people commented, saying, "This is the best thing I have seen on the internet today." One person wrote, "Go, girl, live your dreams, and touch the sky." These comments reduced her to tears, and she had no idea how to handle this love from people. This story took higher notice on Twitter and staring trending. It made its rounds on Reddit, and many people wanted to first help her before making the story more widely known. They also tagged Nike and requested them to send Rhea and her friends pairs of Nike shoes to help them achieve great heights. They started a petition to receive a lifetime free supply of Nike shoes for her and her family. They saw that she needed help to rise above these problems. The localities wanted to help Rhea with her problems too. After this news was roaring in the media, the local athletic shoe store SM Store reached out to help her. The manager called her to the store and told her that she could choose any pair in the entire store. Naturally, she selected the Nike shoes because it was her dream to own and wear one her entire life. Her eyes wandered in the store like a 5-year-old looking at candy. The day she was invited to look at shoes in the store, she got dressed up in the most sporty look she owned. The media was invited to witness this event. She walked around the store for a while before she came to a decision. The colors, texture, and firmness of the shoe attracted her the most. She spent some time feeling the material of many shoes. The look on her face when she wore her first pair was priceless. Most of the employees were walking along with her in the store. This treatment made her feel like a celebrity. Everyone was smiling at her and offering to help her wear her shoes. Before she left the place, they even wanted to take a selfie with her. She had never felt this way in her life before. She did not know whether to laugh or cry during this time. She made sure to enjoy her time in the store before she left. She may be one of a kind, but her inspiration did not stop here. Wearing medical tape to the feet was not practiced only by Rhea. In many other competitions, people started noticing that other participants also had medical tape on their feet. The media began spreading this news and covered it extensively. Athletic shoe manufacturers began receiving emails from many people around the world. They manufacture many shoes throughout the year, so in the form of charity, they could donate shoes to young athletes who cannot afford them. Christmas was around the corner, and the petition that they started to provide a free pair of shoes grew. To their surprise, many people even donated to this cause. They tried to do their part and send it to whoever needs to first. Many people around the world who could not afford shoes for sports started receiving brand new pairs. They learned that because of Rhea, they are receiving this support from strangers. These acts restore our faith in humanity. This story reached the ears of Jeff Cariso, who was at that time the CEO of the Titan 22 basketball store. Being the sponsor of the Professional Philippine Basketball Association, Jeff wanted to help. He promised to cover all the costs for this young woman. Rhea had her eye open for the next big thing and mentioned it to Jeff. He took an interest in this and decided to sponsor the cost of entering them to the national competition in competitions in Southeast Asia. With more to prove that people with determination can do anything, Jeff arranged for them to travel around the world and take part in other competitions. The story of Jeff helping the little girls fulfill their dreams touched their hearts. With willpower and the mindset to do anything, you can touch the sky and even what's above it. The coach who trained her for her first event could not have been more proud of her achievements. Like a proud mom, he stood by her side. After her trainer was interviewed, he revealed that she was very hardworking. She would not stop her training even if it was raining or windy. She would put a mean look on her face and face the rain if she had to. The world is filled with inspiring stories like that of Ray's. We need to look closely at what we have rather than what others have. If we keep looking deep into our flaws, we will never be able to rise against all odds. With her new shoes and newfound fame, Rhea has remained down to earth. She started helping other kids in her community take an interest in sports. She even donated some extra shoes that came her way. Ray's parents could not have been more proud of her achievements. After winning many gold medals, she is already on the path to success. We hope to see her in the Olympics someday and winning it with flying colors. We hope this story ignites the fire in you as well.